Hello students, this is Dr. Uzma Nishat from the Department of English, Institute of Languages, Bundelkhand University, Jhansi. Today I would like to discuss children's literature with you. As you can see that my topic is children's literature, which is again a very broad topic from the genre of English literature. Literature is a term used to describe written or spoken material. The word literature is derived from the word litera, which means letter. It could be A, B, you can see from the screen. So, litera means letter. Now, I would like to discuss more about literature. Literature is considered to be writings having excellence of forms or expression and expressing ideas of permanent or universal interest. Children's literature is the form of literature which is specifically for the children, and it is different from the adult literature. Now, we should know that why it is different from the adult literature or the literature we usually read. It also depends upon the way we are forming the literature. Children are very young, they are still developing, they are in their growing age. So, whatever they read, they learn, they analyze, they have to be very honest whatever they are reading. So, literature of children's is very special, or the genre which is beyond any other genre in English literature. Children's literature first got clear distinction and independent form of literature on the second half of the 18th century. Children's literature has its origin from the ancient times. Now, the literature has includes storybooks, magazines, picture books, etc. Same as we have different forms in our branch of literature, that is drama, prose, fiction and poetry. In children literature, we also have the same genres, but they are made specifically for the children. Okay. Now, coming to our next slide, history of children's literature, origin from the ancient periods. So, I just want to give you introduction that how this literature came into being and what is its importance. In early days, when there were no printing press or papers or publishing, we used to tell stories, folk tales or maybe mythological stories to our children, and those stories were transferred from children, grandmothers to mothers, then mothers to grandparents and all. So, this is a chain which is coming on from the ancient period. So, fables which were used to be transmitted orally through generations. Children's always fascinated towards these oral stories, which were mainly done by grandparents to inculcate moral behavior in children. In other ways, it is difficult to track the history and development of children's literature. Since storytelling, which is fundamental core of literature, seems to have been at work for a period of time, almost the same as human life. None can ever ascertain the starting point of literature. As part of the greater oral tradition, children's literature also has its origin in the tales and songs that adults told their children before publication existed. These tales were supposed to have mythological, ideological elements which were told to civilization through fables and epics. Now, we can come to our next slide, children's literature in India. Now, today here I want to explain that what is the place of children's literature in India. In India, we have numerous books and enormous eminent writers who are just writing for children, and there are so many books published. So, our children learn and educate themselves through these books. So, India is considered as the birthplace, origin of classical stories such as Panchantara tales and the Jakarta tales. You must be familiar with all these tales. We can see few images also. Okay, here is Jakarta tales, Panchantara tales, and all these images. We can also see Hitopadesha, where these animals, they talk about their stories and impart moral teachings to the students, to the young learners, to the very small kids. And children literature helps them to learn morally and observe. They start thinking their own way. So this is, you can see from the screen. Now I would like to discuss few writers and their prominent work in this field. The first one I have with you is Roald Dahl. Okay, so he was born on 13 September 1916 and he died on 23rd November 1990. He was a British novelist, short story writer, poet, screenwriter, fighter, wartime pilot. He has been referred to as one of the greatest storytellers for children of 20th century. His awards are World Fantasy Award for Lifetime Achievement and the British Book Awards. Children's Author of the Year 1990. He is one of the greatest 50 writers in British literature. His some books are Charlie and the Chocolate, Matilda, The Witches, The Twits, Fantastic Mr. Fox. Okay, now coming to the next author, Eric Carle. So as you can see, he is having a book, his very famous book, which becomes so popular worldwide. Eric Carle is an American author and he is famous for illustrative children's book. He was born on 25th June 1929. His awards are Children's Literature Legacy Award, and few books in his career are The Very Hungry Caterpillar, The Grouchy Ladybug, Brown Bear, What Do You See? So, The Very Hungry Caterpillar book is in his hands. With these illustrative pictures and images and the way he tells his story, he makes the children to learn more and to love his books more and more. Okay, now coming to Judy Blume. You must be all aware about this such a popular children writer. She was born on 12th Feb 1938 and she is an American writer too. The one in the middle is The Green Kangaroo, is her very famous storybook, then Blubber and Double Fudge. Now coming to the Indian children's authors. We all know Ruskin Bound. We cannot think about the genre of children literature in India leaving Ruskin Bound. Okay, so Ruskin Bound is born 19th May 1934 and he is an Anglo-Indian author. So he is a highly acclaimed author of children's literature. He is well-known Indian author. He was born in Kasauli in the states of in Punjab states, and he is the pioneer of children literature in India. Ruskin Bond received Sahitya Akademi Award for his eminent work for children. Ruskin Bond received Sahitya Akademi Award for especially for the work he has done for storybooks for children. He has more than 100 short stories for children only. Few of his books which make him very famous are Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra, published in 1992. He was also honored for Padma Shri for his autobiographical element, and his works are The Room on the Roof, The Blue Umbrella, Delhi Is Not Far, Cherry Tree, School Times, Angry River. Okay, so these are his famous works for which he is known. Nowadays, we have his storybooks, short stories in our school academics also. Children learn, they enjoy from his books, and The Blue Umbrella. We all know that this book has also been adapted by Vishal Bhardwaj for his film. This is and he received National Film Award for Best Children Film. So we must have seen this, and we should see The Blue Umbrella, how well it is been picturized and how well the story has been written. Now coming to our next writer, R.K. Narayan, a very familiar face, we all know him. He was a leading author of early Indian literature in English along with Mulk Raj Anand and Raja Rao. He was born on 10th October 1906 in Chennai. His works have been translated across generations, and you would find a copy of his best work for children in almost every household. His works are Swami and Friends, Malgudi Days, Grandmother's Tales. We all love to read him, and children of any age group enjoy his books a lot. And the character from Swami and Friends, Swami is very famous, fictional character. Now coming to the next writer which I have mentioned in my lecture today is Rudyard Kipling. Now tell me, who doesn't know Rudyard Kipling? Yes, the author of The Jungle Book. So he was born on 30th December 1865 in Malabar Hills in Mumbai, and he died on 18 January 1936, England. So he was an English journalist, short story writer. He was born in British India, which inspired of much of his work. He also received a Nobel Prize. So Rudyard Kipling also received a Nobel Prize in the year 1907. And his works are The Jungle Book, Just So Stories, and Kim. And there is a long list which today we are not going to discuss in this lecture. Okay, and we will continue and see that how children literature helps to improve the society and the children. So thank you all of you. I hope you have enjoyed it very well, and we will see you once again, and we will be seeing again and again. Thank you so much.